There is a lie we've all been taught since childhood, that you are separate. From nature, from others, from the universe, a tiny self trapped inside a body, looking out through eyes, trying to survive, to succeed, to be loved. And one man spent his life dismantling this illusion with words so clear, so poetic, so devastatingly simple, they felt like remembering something long forgotten. Alan Watts. Not a guru on a mountain, not a mystic in silence, but a philosopher with a voice like warm honey, speaking on radio shows in lecture halls with pipe in hand, laughter in his throat, and a mind sharp enough to cut through centuries of confusion. He didn't come to give you new beliefs. He came to show you how to stop believing. His message? You are not a person having a spiritual experience. You are the universe having a human experience. This isn't poetry. It's physics, biology, logic. The skin is not a barrier. It is a bridge. You are not in the world. You are of the world. Like a wave is not in the ocean, but is the ocean in motion. Watts didn't invent this idea. He pulled it from Zen, Taoism, Vedanta, Christianity, and quantum physics, weaving them into a tapestry so coherent it made the Western mind pause. He said religion had become a caricature of itself, obsessed with rules, guilt, salvation, and a distant God. But the real mystery was here now, in the breath, in the trees, in the way light falls across the floor. The only way to make sense out of change, he said, is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. Most people resist change. They cling to identity, to security, to the known. But Watts insisted, there is no stable you to hold on to. The self is a verb, not a noun, a process, not a thing, like a flame. It appears constant, but it's actually a continuous flow of energy. So who are you really? Not the name, not the job, not the story. You are the space in which all of this happens. The awareness that sees thought, hears sound, feels sensation, without being any of them. This is what the mystics call the unborn, the eternal now, the I am. Watts didn't demand meditation or renunciation. He demanded attention. Just look at the sky, look at your hand. Look at the fact that you are aware right now, not tomorrow, not after enlightenment, but this instant. That awareness is not yours. It is what you are, and it has never been born. It will never die. You don't need to find it, you need to stop covering it with noise. The first revelation is this: there is no problem to solve. Watts saw that the entire spiritual search is based on a false premise, that something is wrong, that you are broken, that you need to fix yourself, evolve, awaken, transcend. But what if you're already whole? What if the seeker is the sought? He compared it to a wave worrying about whether it's truly part of the ocean. Of course you are, says Watts. You're not a wave in the ocean, you are the ocean waving. The moment you stop trying to become something else, you relax into what you've always been. This doesn't mean doing nothing. It means acting from wholeness, not lack. Most people work from fear of failure, fear of poverty, fear of death. But when you know you are the universe expressing as a human, work becomes play. Creativity flows. Effort feels effortless. This is not passivity. It is alignment. It is what Lao Tzu called Wu Wei. Action without strain, like water finding its way downhill. Watts often said, when you realize you're drunk, you stop pretending to be sober. In the same way, when you see that you're not separate, you stop struggling to belong. You stop seeking love because you realize you are love, not as emotion, but as essence. This is why he laughed so much. Because the whole drama of human suffering is based on a misunderstanding. Like a character in a dream who doesn't know he's dreaming, we take the plot too seriously. We fight, we cry, we plan, we worry, all within a reality that is fundamentally playful, impermanent, interconnected. The universe is not a machine. It is a dance. And you are not an outsider watching. You are one of the dancers. So why keep searching for meaning? Meaning isn't found. It's lived. When you walk in the forest and feel awe, that's meaning. When you laugh with a friend, that's meaning. When you sit in silence and hear the hum of existence, that's meaning. Watts didn't offer answers. He offered perspective. And in that shift, everything changes. One of his most powerful metaphors: the eye cannot see itself. No matter how hard you try, you can't see your own eyeball unless you use a mirror. In the same way, consciousness cannot observe itself directly, but it knows it exists. You don't need proof that you're aware. You are the proof. Any attempt to find awareness is like the eye searching for itself, futile because it's already doing the seeing. The same applies to God, to the universe, to truth. You don't find it. You realize you never left it. The second phase is on the art of letting go. Watts didn't teach surrender as resignation. He taught it as intelligence. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means stopping the resistance to what is. Pain arises not from the event, but from the war against it. When you break your leg, the pain is real. But the suffering, the anger, the why me, the fear is optional. It comes from rejecting what's already happening. Watts would say, suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable. So what do? You let the pain be there. You don't fight it. You don't run. You allow it. And in that allowing, something strange happens. The pain may remain, but the suffering dissolves. This is not magic. It's acceptance. It's saying, this is happening, I don't like it, but I won't add resistance to it. The same applies to loss, grief, failure. Most people try to fix their emotions. Watts said, don't fix, feel. Let sadness be sad. Let anger be angry. Don't label it bad. Don't rush to positive thinking. Emotions are energy in motion. When you block them, they stagnate. When you let them flow, they transform. He often quoted Zen, when hungry, eat. When tired, sleep. Simple, profound. How many people eat while working or lie in bed ruminating instead of sleeping? We are never where we are, always somewhere else in time. But Watts insisted, the present moment is the only place where life happens. The past is memory. The future is imagination. Only now is real. And yet we spend 90% of our lives avoiding it, lost in thought, regret, planning, distraction. To be here now is not a technique. It is a decision, a willingness to drop the story and return to sensation. Touch your hand, feel the texture, hear the sounds around you, smell the air. These are not distractions, they are anchors. They bring you back to the body, to the earth, to the now. Watts warned against spiritual bypassing, using enlightenment as an excuse to avoid feeling. Don't pretend you're above emotion, he'd say. Be in it, fully, then let it go. This is maturity. This is freedom. One of his favorite stories. A man runs frantically through the forest shouting, "Where is the tiger?" Everyone tries to calm him. There is no tiger, but he keeps running. Finally, someone tackles him, pins him down and says, "Look, there is no tiger." And the man sobs, "Thank God, I thought I was the tiger." That's us. We think we're chasing happiness, enlightenment, peace, but we are the peace we seek. We just don't know it. The third level is in the illusion of control. Watts saw that modern humanity is obsessed with control, over nature, over others, over the future, over the self. We build dams, write laws, make plans, set goals, meditate to achieve states. But the universe doesn't operate that way. It flows, it improvises, it dances. Try to control a river, and it floods. Try to control a child and they rebel. Try to control your thoughts and they multiply. Watts said, "You cannot be anything by trying to be it. The harder you try to be calm, the more anxious you become. The more you chase love, the more elusive it gets." Why? Because the ego is trying to dominate what it cannot touch, life itself. The solution is not more effort. It is less. It is trust. Trust that you are already part of the whole. that the cosmos knows what it's doing, that your life is not a series of accidents, but a unique expression of universal intelligence. This doesn't mean doing nothing, it means acting with the flow, not against it. Like a sailor who doesn't fight the wind, but adjusts the sails. Watts encouraged what he called creative irresponsibility, not laziness, but freedom from the burden of being the center of the universe. You are not responsible for saving the world. You are responsible for being authentic, for living with integrity, for expressing your uniqueness. When you do that, you serve the whole, not by force, but by resonance. He often said, "No valid plans for the future can be made by those who live one day at a time." Paradoxical? Yes. True? Also, yes. When you're fully in the present, the future takes care of itself. Decisions arise naturally, opportunities appear, synchronicity increases. This is not faith. It is observation. People who live this way don't seem to make it happen. It just happens around them. Why? Because they are not resisting. They are participating. The fourth step is living the paradox. Watts didn't resolve contradictions. He celebrated them. Life is not logical. It is poetic. You are both insignificant and infinitely important. You are temporary and eternal. You are free and determined. Most people want clarity. Watts offered mystery. The more a thing is explained, he said, the less it is understood. He loved paradox. You have to forget the past to remember it. The only way to have security is to accept insecurity. To be liberated from time, you must fully enter it. These aren't riddles. They are invitations to transcend dualistic thinking. The mind wants answers. Life offers questions. Watts taught that wisdom begins when you stop needing to know. When you can say, "I don't understand," and that's okay. This is humility, this is openness, this is the end of spiritual arrogance. He didn't claim to have answers. He claimed to have stopped asking the wrong questions. Instead of, "How can I become enlightened?" ask, "Who is the I that wants to be enlightened?" Instead of, "What is the meaning of life?" ask, "What is living through me right now?" These shifts dissolve the seeker, and when the seeker vanishes, what remains is simply life, flowing, dancing, being. Watts saw religion as a tragedy when it became dogma. But he saw spirituality as essential, not as belief, but as direct experience. You don't need a temple. You are the temple. You don't need a priest. You are the ritual. Every breath is sacred, every gesture is prayer. This is not sentimentality, it is recognition. Once you see that you are not separate, every act becomes an offering. Eating, walking, speaking, creating, all are expressions of the divine playing at being human. And in that play, there is joy. Not the fleeting emotion, but the deep, quiet delight of being here, now, alive, aware, part of it all. Now the climax. Imagine standing on a beach at dusk. The waves roll in one after another, rising, breaking, dissolving into foam. You watch them, fascinated. Then it hits you. You are not watching the waves. You are the wave watching. The observer is not separate from the observed. The awareness that sees the ocean is the same ocean, aware of itself. This is what Watts knew. This is what he tried to whisper into the ear of a sleeping world. You are not a drop trying to reach the ocean. You are the ocean pretending to be a drop, to taste its own vastness. So here's your invitation. Tonight, before sleep, sit quietly and ask, what am I really? Don't answer. Just stay with the question. And in the silence, something ancient will stir, something whole, something free.